Peace, everybody. What's good? It's that boy, Coach Malachiwilliams, and you and I'm tuned to True Media Today USA Boxing. Let's go.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble.
All right, everybody, check this out. I know it's been a little bit since I shot a video, but we back on it. I'm looking at a lot of stuff that's going on in the lightweight division. We do know that we've been getting some good fights so far this year. Basically we got the David Benavidez, Caleb Plant. We end up getting Cool Boy Stealth for New Way the Monster. We end up getting Tank Ryan Garcia. That was a TikTok fight, to be honest with you. The fight wasn't what I thought it was going to be. But we did that. But that was a big fight from a number standpoint, not from a boxing standpoint, but from a number standpoint. We did get finally got my main man Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. He ended up having deep fried catfish on that. What else we got? We got it's another fight that I'm missing that we ended up getting. But you guys, we got Devin Haney and we ended up getting Lomachenko. Devin Haney and Lomachenko ended up getting that fight. The question I have is what would be the next big fight in the lightweight division? You see what I'm saying? I do see that that's a lot of chatter going on with Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. They're going back and forth about who clout chasing who. You have Devin Haney fans say Shakur clout chasing. Basically, it's not Devin Haney fan. Basically, his fans coming from the LDBC, the Alphabet Boy community. Their job is to push a narrative for Bill Haney. So, Bill Haney is using the Alphabet Boys as a propaganda piece to push their narrative. That's what's going on. Cool don't want to fight. He don't want to smoke. He should have took 25%. This reminds me of Crawford and Spence when that same community was backing Spence and they say Crawford's for the 60-40, 70-30, 80-20. Take whatever we give you. You ain't worth nothing. You should just be happy just to talk to us, get in the ring with us. And Crawford stuck to his guns. And Terrence Crawford ended up getting way more money. He got everything he wanted and some. And those same guys, I say those guys are two-figure niggas. These niggas got a net worth of 2 figures, but they telling guys who have a net worth of 9 figures how they should do business. Broke niggas on the internet with cameras and YouTube channels, like, you can't make this shit up. So these same guys are saying the same thing about Shakur. He should have did this, he should have did that. That was a punk fake from Devin Haney and the Haneys, to be honest with you. Once again, I don't have a dog in the race. I don't have no loyalty towards the Haneys. I don't have any loyalty towards Shakur. I don't have a relationship with neither one of those guys. I have a relationship with Crawford, but I don't have a relationship with any one of those guys. So I don't have a dog in the race. I'm going to call it the way I see it. But the fact still remains that, what you guys don't understand, well, a lot of you guys do understand because a lot of you fans, especially my subscribers, you guys are very, very smart. You see what's going on. It's a propaganda piece that's going out there, and that's how media works. You jump out there, you work the media, and what happens is you put disinformation out there or the information out there to push the type of narrative that you want in order to make you look good. That's all that's going on. All this stuff about you should have took this, we offered Cool this in the public. Anytime you see people doing stuff like that in the public, they're trying to, sway the opinion of the people to get on their side. And that's what Bill Haney does. And this is no shade to Bill, but that's what he does. Bill is the ultimate politician in boxing. He politics. That's what he does. He'll lie cap, do whatever to make his son look good. And I do get that. That's what he's supposed to do. I understand. But the reality of the situation is this. Shakur and Devin Haney, they're not going to fight each other anytime soon. If you see, Shakur Stevenson is a high risk fight. There's a reason why when you mention Shakur name, there's a lot of people, they go to shaking like booty meat, ducking and dodging. They go to saying everything other than, yeah, man, let's make this fight happen and stuff like that. That was a pump fake from the Haneys, in my opinion. And this is no shade to them, but, it is what it is. Again, it's the same situation with, and I told Shakur in Omaha, Nebraska, I don't know if you remember this, but when we was on the float, I said, you're going to go through the same thing that Crawford went through. Right, Shakur is going to be the Terrence Crawford version in the lightweight division. That's what it's going to be. He's going to go through the same saga and the same drama in the lightweight division. Now, I'm hearing that Shakur is going to fight Frank Martin. I like that fight between Shakur and Frank Martin. I'm glad that the sanctioning bodies. Another thing I want to show you guys. You see how the sanctioning bodies, they pick and choose who they want to enforce make fights with, enforce mandatories and stuff like that. And this is not a mandatory, but I'm seeing that the WBC, because Esau Pitbull Cruz ducked the smoke. Since he ducked the smoke and he's in the process of fighting, he's in the process of fighting Tank Davis again. So you ought to know what time that was. He's fighting him he's fighting him in the WBA. So you ought to know what time that was. We seen that play coming 3-4 fights ago when Tank fought Esau Cruz. Everybody and their mama knew that was going to be the play. Calvin Ford told you it is what it is, but I digress. As it relates to Shakur and Frank Martin, that's a good fight. Love to see that fight because Frank Martin is that's supposed to be Errol Spence's fighter. Frank Martin's supposed to be the next best thing. That's a slick black fighter. Slick black fighter versus a light-skinned Puerto Rican fighter. From a nationality standpoint, he's Puerto Rican. He claiming Puerto Rico, so Shakur claiming Puerto Rico. He got the Puerto Rican flag. That's what we're gonna ride with from a nationality standpoint. But Frank Martin, Shakur Stevenson, that's a good fight. Frank Martin is a slick black fighter. He's a slick black fighter, and if Shakur fight him, that's going to be better than what a lot of dudes doing in the lightweight division. There's some fighters that won't even fight a slick black fighter. I ain't gonna say no names, but you can guess who I'm talking about. There's some fighters who won't even fight a slick black fighter. So if the sanctioned body can make this fight happen with Shakur and Frank Martin, I would love that to happen. So you're gonna have two slick black fighter versus a Puerto Rican fighter, a slick black Puerto Rican fighter, right? Have them fight each other. I got Shakur beating Frank Martin myself. Frank Martin has great footwork. That's going to be a pretty good fight. On paper, it looks good. We're going to see what it looks like actually in the ring. On paper, it looks real good. I'm not going to lie. On paper, it looks real good. But in the ring, we're going to see. I got, I think Frank Martin, maybe he can be the one to bring those Super Saiyan powers out of Shakur. We'll see how that go down. But I am thankful for that. If we can get that fight this year, I'm happy for that. Because we know some fighters ain't going to fight no slick black fighters. Some fighters, they're going to fight the flat-footed, Mexican fighters that's going to come forward and be tailor-made for their style. And I do get it. That's the business of boxing. That's just how it works. I understand it. But and certain fighters, like a Shakur, he's going to be required to do a lot more than what other fighters who are not required to do. That's just reality of the situation. Devin Haney, I don't know if he's a 135-pounder or a 140-pounder. I don't know what's going on with him and Regis Prograis. Regis Prograis say, hey, that fight look like it's not going down. It's not happening. So, I think that maybe the Haneys are having a second thought about what's my main name? Regis Prograis. Regis ain't no easy out for nobody. Now, some people may say he didn't look good his last fight. Cool, okay, get in the ring and fight him. Be in the hurry to fight him. Jump in there and fight him, right? We'll see. 140 is going to be something very, very tricky. I expect from a Haney standpoint, they're going to do, I think now they're in the 140, they're going to be very careful about how they move. They're going to be very careful about how they move, right? Boxing is a lot about marketing as well. So they got to, you got to control the narrative, got to run the media, control the media and stuff like that. I'm going to show you guys exactly how this shit goes. There's a lot of stuff that I'm doing that we really going to take off on. Like, I'm going to blow this shit out of the water myself, but I'm going to show you guys instead of telling you about it. But yeah, that's just what I see. Like, I think that the Frank Martin, Shakur Stevenson, I really want to see that fight. I like that fight. This is Shakur's second fight in the lightweight division. This is his second fight. You have guys who've been in the lightweight division forever and they ain't fought nobody, right? But this is his second fight in the lightweight division. Devin Haney did his thing in the lightweight division. He fought George Kambosos, beat the guy who beat what's my main name? Teofimo Lopez, T. Diddy Jr., Diddy Bop. And Diddy Bop doing this thing, man. Like, to be honest with you, when I think about it, there's nobody in the lightweight division when he was there that had a better resume than Teofimo Lopez and, of course, Lomachenko. Those guys fought the tough guys. The guys who they can get. Like, if you look at their resumes in the lightweight division, both of those guys fought the top guys. And then if you go to now some of the top guys, they couldn't get because those guys wasn't going to fight them. It wasn't going to fight them. Was staying on their side of the street, following the business plan that they have set forth. So that's just the reality of the situation. But Devin Haney did his thing, for what he can do. Teofimo did his thing, and then he went to 140 and he beat Josh Taylor, the former undisputed junior welterweight champion of the world. So he did that. So now I think that this will be a good feather in Shakur's cap if he can get by Frank Martin, which I fully expect him to do. This would be a good feather in Shakur's cap. This is going to be a cross-promotional fight. So if this fight were to happen, then that's Top Rank fighting a top-ranked fighter fighting a PBC fighter. You know, because he's on that side of the street with PBC and Man Down Promotions. Man Down Promotions, PBC, same shit. Al Heyman, Advisor, all that stuff, still the same stuff. So if that fight happens, that's more proof that, hey, cross-promotional fights with the PBC and Top Rank can happen, depending on which fighter it is. But when it comes to certain fighters, it's certain fights they won't make. And I do, depending on who the fighter is. If it's a fighter that they deem to be very, very dangerous, then they're not going to make that fight. Understandably so, they're making business decisions. But you guys, tell me, what do you think about this Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson fight? If this fight were to materialize and go down and actually happen, because right now, you know, we've been spoiled, bro. We've been getting some good fights so far this year, and that's what I continue to expect to get, the mega fights, the big fights. Even if it's not a mega fight, as long as it's a big fight. You get what I'm saying? So I'm riding with Shakur in this. I think he's going to beat Frank Martin. Let's see what happens. Guys, hate, like, share, and subscribe. Tell me, what do you think? Who do you think is going to win this fight if they fight each other, when they fight each other, hopefully, between Shakur and Frank Martin? You know, a slick black fighter versus a slick black Puerto Rican fighter. We'll see how that plays out. See you guys today, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You know my motto, don't meet me there, beat me there. Peace.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.